Hello everyone, Jordio here, and today I'm going to be trying something a bit different. Today I'm going to be talking about my Nintendo handheld collection. I was going through my stuff recently and realized over the years I have accumulated quite a bit of Nintendo handheld stuff despite not originally being really into Nintendo handheld stuff. So I thought some of this might spark some conversation, especially with some of the stuff that you're about to learn about how I collect things. So yeah, I thought I'd give this a try and let's get started. So of course, I'm going to start with newer consoles first and then work my way back. Of course, my main handheld Nintendo console is the Switch. This is the OLED version. I do have the original Switch as well, but when I got this, I just put the original one in the box. Nothing too special about it. It's just a Switch. You can see I'm using the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons with this one, and I just really like those. But again, not much special about it. But one big reason why I wanted to talk about this stuff is because the Switch is so delicate and Nintendo has so much other stuff that you can play, and more often than not when I want to go somewhere, I'm usually using this, my new Nintendo 3DS XL. This thing is really nice. As you can see, this is the Hyrule edition, and I got lucky enough to get the one with IPS screens on the top and the bottom. So any of you that knows about the 3DS display lottery, you'll know that not all the screens are made the same. But of course, when this came out, I was also really curious about the new Nintendo 3DS. This did not initially launch in North America with the new XL version, but I really wanted one in white, and here it is. So this particular one, let's see, it came from this bundle here. Whoops. Came from this bundle here. It was at Walmart for like 150 bucks. And you can change the faceplates on it. And so, yeah, it's really nice to have. I barely ever use this one. So that's the new Nintendo 3DS, the non-XL version. And then back here, one of the more curious things I have here. This is a Nintendo 2DS. Technically, this is the Mario Maker version, but I did a button swap to make it so that it's all yellow. And I did that because I didn't really like, well, let me show you what, this is the Mario Maker edition of the 2DS, and I kind of didn't like the colors. I also got a refurbished one, and they didn't give me like the brown stylus that's supposed to come with this, but I didn't really like the red buttons and the brown back here. So what I did was I went and tried to find a 3DS or a 2DS, sorry, that has yellow buttons. And I found this Japanese one that has the yellow buttons that I needed. So I did a swap out, and of course I have ended up with my little Cheese Wedge 2DS. And this right here is more of a novelty for me, but I really like it. And once I made that, I was kind of inspired to make an all blue 2DS because I was looking at consolevariations.com. I like to keep them in plastic. I was looking at consolevariations.com, and I realized that they didn't make any 2DSs that are all one color. Like they all have like different color buttons and stuff like that. So this one I might end up giving away because obviously I don't need two 2DSs. But it's really nice to have, just, you know, because it's unique and all that. Let's see here. So, a recent addition to my collection. This is courtesy of my homeboy Magnus. Shout out to Magnus Gamer 255. This is the original 3DS, the launch model. This one you can see has taken some wear. There's definitely been some serious gaming on this bad boy. It's missing the circle pad. I plan on replacing that at some point, and possibly the buttons there. So this is really nice to have just because it's, you know, it's what came first before all this other stuff. At some point, I also got a Nintendo DSi. This came out before the 3DS. It was between the DS and the 3DS. It's basically like an upgraded, feature-injected DS Lite, if you will. It's very Wii-like with the interface, and it has an SD card slot, so if you wanted to mod one of these, you can run games off of the SD card slot. And it's pretty nice to have for playing DS games. And then back here, I've got a few DS Lites. So a friend of mine gave me a bunch of DS Lites, and several of them were pink. And I didn't really like the ugly pink color, so what I did was I found this company called Extreme Rate was selling some replacement shells on Amazon, and I replaced the shells on several of them, and have these beautiful replacement shells here for these DS Lites. So this one here, this is an original DS Lite. Of course, they couldn't I guess the DS symbol is like copyrighted or something, so they couldn't replicate that, but otherwise they did a really good job with these shells. I really like it. So yeah, I have 3 of these DS Lites. I pull them out every once in a while when I want to play some Mario Kart DS on WiiFi. Let's see here. I also have a Game Boy Advance. This is the SP, of course. This is not the one with the backlit screen, but it's still really nice to have for playing original Game Boy Color, and of course Game Boy Advance games. And let's see here. Oh yeah, I also got these Game & Watch things that Nintendo released. I think this was for Mario's 30th anniversary. So this has Super Mario Brothers along with Game & Watch games on here, and here's the cover, or the box that it came from, which is pretty cool. The difference with this versus everything else is that these are not easy to hack to put whatever you want on it, but that's okay, because this is just a really nice novelty just to have, just because. They also made a Zelda version, but they did some upgrades to this version. They made it so that this inner box that you get serves as a stand. You can pull this out and actually set it up as a stand and have it charging while it's sitting in here, so it doesn't ever shut off, which is pretty cool. And then also the Triforce on the back lights up. The Mario one doesn't have anything like that, so I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I think those are all of my handhelds. Again, most of the time, because my Switch is I mainly use it as like I plug it into the TV most of the time. And when I want to go somewhere with my system, with the game system, I'm usually taking my 3DS. Unless I'm afraid I'm going to get robbed or something, then I'll take one of my cheaper consoles. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I also mod all of my 3DSs, every single one. So all of my games are installed to the SD card. I highly recommend anybody that has a 3DS to do so. That way you don't have to take all of your games with you everywhere you go. So yeah. So that's pretty much it that I wanted to show people today. So I wanted to know in the comments what kind of Nintendo stuff do you have? Do you mod your consoles? And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you folks have a great day.